Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Running the Bases. I am Michael Garaffa, joined by Ryan Blank and Nick Hoshnath. What a great day. We've got the boys all here today. This has been a rare occurrence recently, so I'm very happy about it that we get to have everybody here. How's everyone been doing, and how's life been treating you?
Well, more important questions. How are you doing?
I'm great, actually. I've been great. This is not working the way I wanted it to, but I've been great, actually. So,
No. Not these.
No,
This is the fourth stage of griefing.
no, I'm
This is the
actually.
acceptance stage.
Yeah.
And then you have your fall apart.
No.
In your bed at
No,
night.
I already did that. That's taken care of.
I stayed the night at your house after a Mets loss. It looked like there was a swamp in your bed from your tears.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, when was that after Country Thunder? Because they probably did lose a couple times that weekend. Honestly, they didn't. I remember they didn't fare very well first.
And I did see a puddle in your bed. I don't know if you wet the bed. I hope not because you're 21. But I'm pretty sure it was just tears from the Mets loss.
But I will say, it has not been as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot worse. I really did. I was much more.
And I had a joke for saying how I was doing, but I guess not.
No, I'm actually doing very well.
It's good to hear.
I look. I came into the season having no expectations for the Mets.
That's not true.
No, I didn't
That's
think
not
they were
true.
going to win the World Series. Look at my predictions. I had them getting knocked out in the NLDS. I did not have them making it very far this year.
That far.
No, but it didn't matter. They still got knocked out in their first round.
See, we have nowhere to talk because our team sucks.
Yeah.
So we live feeding off of your team blowing leads and losing. So, but for me as life lately, I've learned something about life. Also, I can hear you chugging that water. That's great radio right there.
You're darn right.
I'm proud of you. Actually, spill it all the way down your shirt.
I know. Thanks. God, the water bottle worked for once.
ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not.
Oh, God, I'm sure there's probably an ASMR.
There is one. I'm pretty sure.
There's no way.
Last semester there was for sure.
There's no way.
Welcome to Blaze Radio.
And then they're just like touching the microphone.
It's
It's
actually
like,
Michael doing it by himself.
oh God,
Um,
no.
But as for life for me recently, I feel like I've just been getting kicked in the nuts time and time again.
What was that?
I don't. We don't need to get personal here. Just life is just, your friends duck you under the water, and you feel like you're getting up, and then you're just drowning again. It's like every time I feel like I'm getting up in the ocean, another wave comes and drags me back under. Man, it's just been a rough stretch.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry.
I'm also very sorry to hear that.
That would explain why you've been less mean to me in Bronchi News.
No. Do not make me out to be a bad person. I am not mean to you in Cronkite News. I push your buttons.
No, I
That's
heard you
my job
actually
in
really
life.
mean to him.
I push your buttons all the time. I do not take it too far. I take it too far with Austin. Because Austin Ford consistently hates me. And that's part of my troubles. I treat him so well, and he just hates me.
You and Austin have a really nice relationship.
Yeah, you do. It's very pretty, your relationship with each other. So Nick, how's your life been?
Chilling. Everything's good.
I figured there would be something wrong if it wasn't.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I have no sports teams to root for except for tomorrow. The NBA starts tomorrow, so I'm very excited.
Talking about you got the Bears.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
talking about contending teams.
Oh wait, yeah. They only scored 7 points against the Commanders. I'm sorry.
See, I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry.
It's just
I'm sorry.
Hey, we both lost this weekend. It's okay.
And you know what? I'm not even mad about that. The only thing I'm mad about is that terrible offensive pass interference call.
running the yardage. Is this what we're changing the name to?
Running. I didn't know
running
the
the
NFL.
sideline.
Back-to-back weeks, the Chiefs have just gotten screwed with poor officiating. So this is a baseball show, but let me say this: I have not been able to say this on the show, and I'm going to talk about it real quick before we get to playoff talk.
Okay.
The Royals are back. Here's why: no more Cody, no more Eldred. Both of those guys are gone.
I'm sorry. I saw a video today.
Uh-oh.
I saw the best framers and the worst framers. They're did this
I know. The Royals have two of the worst running catchers in baseball.
Yeah,
I know.
they do.
Trust me.
It was Salvi, and then the end of the video was MJ Melendez.
No, Salvi was 3. MJ was the worst.
Salvi will MJ then, I guess. So, he gets pitches on the outside corner, pulls it outside.
Here's the thing
He
about MJ.
dropped it.
MJ doesn't. Here's what MJ does. Since we're on video, everyone can see this. When it's inside East right down here, he just goes and swipes it.
That makes no sense.
It's so
terrible
bad
catch.
every time. Or if it's here, swipes it. Salvi at least tries. Salvi's just not
Salvi's
good
just
at
like,
it. No, Salvi will just do it like this.
Tell me to do it late. Like he'll get it
Oh
here.
yeah,
and
that's so late. Salvi will catch it down here and be like, oh God, no.
yeah, it's like
It's
at the knee.
mechanics. I love both of them. I love them both. But the framing is terrible. At least they are good at throwing out base.
And at least they're good.
They're very good at that. And they're solid hitters.
My
So,
guy Devin Ott is watching. Our loyal fan, Devin Ott.
so
He said future prediction, Vinny P will be a top 5 first baseman in 3 years.
I love it.
Well,
I love it. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Ryan.
I did not mean to knock down your phone. But I love it. I'm telling you right now. The Royals are not in this position.
And you had it in such a nice spot
So-
too, and you just decided.
So
Vinny
here's-
P ruined
Here's
it.
what I'm thinking. If I'm the Royals, here's what I'm doing this offseason.
Mhm.
I'm extending Bobby Witt.
No.
I'm extending Brady Singer.
I mean, they're not.
I'm extending MJ Melendez. And I'm extending Vinny P. Lock those guys up. And guess what? You're heading in the right direction. But here's the thing. The Royals are getting closer to being back because they got rid of 2 terrible coaches.
You're right.
2 people that I would rather have my dog coach in their positions. Kel Eldred is a waste. Same with Mike Matheny. They were terrible hires. And you know what? Getting rid of them is a step in the right direction. So there's a little bit of excitement. Plus, Dayton Moore is gone. That guy ran his course. Kind of sucked at the end. But you know what? Royals are getting closer to being back, and I'm loving it.
Nick, I must say, even though it's off at the moment, your camera quality on your phone is phenomenal.
I
What about
appreciate
my
it.
Like yours is not great at all. I'm really, I'm
I
intrigued.
feel like this
I'm
is
so sorry.
because you have a good-looking guy next to you.
No, like his camera quality is so much clearer than yours. I just don't know
I'm
why.
in the middle of a fantasy draft, so I'll be offline for like the next 2 minutes.
Okay, that's
Oh, tell me when I'm up so I can draft. Even though I haven't drafted one guy.
Ryan Blank,
Season's over.
Let me see it. Let me see how bad the team is. Let's scout it.
I mean, that's his next.
Oh, great heavens, this team is terrible.
Oh, great heavens. There is a cleaning lady in the other room. Hi, ma'am. Hope your night's going great.
I have 2 guys that are hurt.
Okay, so before we lose the fans,
Okay.
also
playoff
known as
baseball.
Devin.
So, yeah, let's get back to baseball.
Yes.
It's America's past, and we love it.
Oh, yeah.
But
the
yes,
best sport in the world.
Royals are on the upward slope, which is beautiful. But you know what? I think where we should start is the Mets.
So we got to start in the
debacle.
wild card. It's not a
The Mets
start
debacle.
in the wild card.
Yeah,
We should start with the game right
Mets.
now today.
Well,
That was
yes, that's true. That They
That's
did
for
rain out the Yankees Guardians game about 2.5 hours after it was
Should I
supposed to
come to the
start.
Bureau tomorrow to watch that
yeah,
game?
the game's gonna be on at
What
1.
time is it? 1?
1 o'clock.
Caleb's gonna be in.
I'm in
Should
You should come.
I should go. I should come down to the Bureau, act
I'm in
like I'm working,
class.
and just watch the game with all y'all.
I
you should.
may do that. That's a great idea. I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a watch party.
That's
But-
I'll be there.
You know, I am so excited to see the Guardians lose.
Unless the Guardians are losing by like 10, then I need to bother.
Because here's the thing. You guys know I'm not a huge Guardians fan. They're a rival of the Royals. And I've said it. The only good thing about the Guardians is Tito.
Yes.
No, Jose Ramirez.
Oh, and Jose
He's
Ramirez.
been terrible.
I
He's-
mean,
he's
he
not
did,
good
He was really
historically
one
in
game
the
too,
postseason.
though.
Yeah,
He's never
that's-
gonna be
He's
postseason.
been terrible. I mean, it's been embarrassing when he's
That
done.
pitch, that strikeout against Holmes last night,
Oh, awful.
if he didn't swing, that ball was hitting him in the foot.
Yeah, he would. If he
Oh
didn't
my god,
swing once.
that was terrible. On 3-2.
I know.
that was
I'm like, dude,
terrible.
what are you
Honestly,
swinging at?
that was a terrible pitch.
It was a.
It
It
was
was
a terrible
I
pitch.
mean,
on 3-2.
considering the way Jose
Yeah, I mean,
Ramirez has been playing, it wasn't because that was. I mean, he swung at it.
He's
but-
ne- but he's never been good in the postseason. in
No.
his career.
He
True.
hasn't, which is, and that's something we've always said that he's always been a first half player, and then second half he starts to just wear
And to
out.
be honest, Judge hasn't been that great.
No, Judge has been terrible too.
Terrible.
But I mean,
He got
Harrison
one home
Bader
run.
has been,
He did it
yanking
before.
ding
And
dongs.
then Trent Grisham.
Yeah, dude, the two most
Unsung heroes.
unlikely
Wait,
people.
how many home runs does he have, Michael?
3.
Thank you, Magic.
I still don't understand that, reference, even though you keep using it. I don't know what it means. Because I obviously missed a video somewhere and didn't get it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he
definitely did. But yeah,
yeah,
we'll start with the wild card round, and we'll
And I think we
start.
should start with the Mets series.
Yeah, no, that's a great
Let's
idea.
go into it.
We can.
Also, I had a transcending event in my life going to Petco Park. I will say it, that's the best park in baseball.
That's right, you did do that. I remember.
The best park in baseball. The views are
Yeah,
insane.
it's gorgeous. Oh, I remember when I went in January.
How
Oh
many-
my god.
And you know what was cool? Despite them not winning, I was at the game where they clinched the playoff spot because the Brewers
nice.
lost. It was so cool.
How
I
many have
loved
you
it.
been to?
Stadiums? Oh gosh. Someone fill the airtime while I quit. While I count.
How many have you been?
I've only been to 3: City Field, Chase Field, and Petco. That's it. Petco is by far my favorite out of the 3. I love City Field, but Petco is just highly recommend. And the planes that are flying over all the time, like in the background, it's really, really cool. I mean, it's a really fun environment. The fans are great. I wasn't there for a baseball game, but the venue itself was just beautiful. I mean, the amenities were great. Just the entire area around it was very nice, really close to the water. It's definitely a really, really a top tier.
I've been to 5.
Great. I felt there very well.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been to 5.
Yeah, I went to Bush because that's like 3.5 hours
Yeah.
from my house.
As you should. I mean, I never went to Yankee Stadium. Though.
I went to Coors. I've been to Chase, Kaufman, and now Petco.
Ooh, you know what's great? Now that I'm on tour next year, I'm gonna get to go to some baseball stadiums.
You got it?
I did, yeah. Not the
Right.
job that I applied for, but I'm going on
Oh
tour
wait,
next
you're
year.
gonna be in Wichita, Kansas. That's so close.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're
I
in
also don't know when
Kaufman-
that is. I don't think that's during the.
I'm saying, if you ever go to Kaufman, I have a strict rule. You have to go to Kaufman at night because the fountains at night are so insane.
Oh, I can imagine. Nick, how many stadiums have you been to?
I've been to Seattle,
Ooh.
America.
Great American Ballpark, Dodger Stadium.
Wait, Great American Small Park? What is it? Tiny Stadium.
Oh, obviously Chase, and then that's it.
It's one of the
Best one's definitely Seattle.
It always,
Yeah, that's
I could. If you ever get a chance to go to Petco,
Yeah, I should go to Petco.
the next at the top of my list is Oracle in San Francisco, and I'm behind that for sure. I mean, of course,
Of course, it's awesome.
it seems like.
I was really young when I went, so I had to go back. But it was awesome.
You gotta hit the Midwest ones.
Yeah, well, the Midwest ones, the top of the teams are not that good.
No, no.
Like Wrigley's just iconic. You're not in the Midwest technically.
Well, that's just not
Central
true.
America.
Did you just?
You're
Did you just say
You're in between,
Kansas
like,
is not
all
in the Midwest?
all right, fine. I will.
You and Mary Grace both did not know that Kansas was in the Midwest.
I did not know. I thought
Kansas like just screams Midwest.
No, Kansas City screams to me screams south more than Midwest. But I know you're in terms of the
You're
personality.
joking. You're joking, right?
in terms of the personality.
You're basing that off me? Is that what you're doing?
No,
I don't know how you get that.
because
Kansas is the Midwest. Kansas is the Midwest.
All right, fair.
It's the
I
heart of
really
the
need to
Midwest.
see it on that because I'm probably not.
See what bro said.
Bro said. Yeah, Devin said you guys have echo when Nick is on. It's the phone volume on.
Yes, my phone volume is on because it won't go down all the way. That's the only reason.
Thank you, Devin, for shouting us out or helping us out.
That's the only reason, Devin, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could figure it out.
Yeah, my phone volume will go all down.
You can't turn your volume all the way off on your phone ever when you're on a phone call, which is really stupid. Kansas is in the middle of America. That's not even the Midwest. Like it's literally the smack dab the center of America. Like you couldn't get
I never
more.
wanted to walk out of this show for something non-baseball from you.
Look, Nick, tell me I'm wrong. Okay,
Okay, well, if you're looking at like
that's Kansas. Kansas is in the middle.
West.
the Midwest.
No, the Midwest is here. That's too far west to be in the Midwest.
Okay, so back to baseball. What happened in the Mets series?
All right, so I'll talk about the Mets series because it's obviously the series I know the most about. So, first off, the Mets,
Padres whooped you.
as they did, Dominic Stern, Padres fan.
Hey,
We're talking about the series if you'd like to provide input.
go pause.
Okay,
Go pause.
Dominic Stern, Padres fan. He didn't rub it in my face like a gentleman.
He will never rub it.
No.
I didn't rub it in your face.
I know.
Only game one.
Only game one, yes, and then I set that straight.
Well,
Um,
no, oh my God, I'm so
I said it straight real fast.
I was really quick to just. I almost did it.
It also wasn't because of you, to be fair, that I said that.
I almost did it again.
Who
But I
was
was like,
it?
you know what? I'm going to be nice to you.
No, who was it?
The only other person who said something.
Who was it? Kayla?
No.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even.
No, I almost said something for the last game. I was like, you know what? We're gonna be nice.
You're an angel.
I appreciate it.
Can you tell God that so I go to heaven? Please. So you
So
heard that. I have testimonials.
just the Mets,
That's
just
so
like they did in 2015 in the World Series, they got outplayed. Simply, they didn't show up hungry and they got outplayed. To me, I kept telling
my face.
To me, I kept telling people the season was over when they got swept by the Braves. It took all the momentum out of them. They had no chance. I told people, I said, we're not beating the Padres. As much as I wanted them to, as much as I thought baseball-wise that they would, I just kept saying that there's no way that they beat the Padres. The Padres are going to come in hungry, and if you take out their, if the Dodgers this season were replaced by any other team, the Padres would have been a 93 win team as opposed to 89. That's a big difference, and they would have matched up a lot better. And just to me, there's no question that the Padres were a great team, and they earned it. They played so well. They outplayed us. I mean, Max Scherzer didn't have any of his stuff. He said that he didn't have any run on any of his pitches. He allowed home runs. Jacob deGrom came out there and proved that he's Jacob deGrom still, while having none of his pitches for 6 innings. He managed to put on a masterpiece. And then Chris Bassett came out there and did his best, considering he also had none of his pitches. And the Mets just couldn't score runs. You know, you can't win games if you don't score runs. I mean, while they scored 7 in Game 2 and I lost my voice, that was it. I'm just happy that the Mets won a playoff game for the first time in 7 years. We scored a run in the playoffs for the first time
I'm
in
just
7
curious.
years.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Don't get mad when I ask this. For Game 2,
Yes.
you filmed a reaction of them winning in the final out. I'm curious as to why, because why not wait and do that for a potential Game 3 scenario?
Because it was the first time the Mets have won a game in the playoffs in 7 years. So I was excited. And besides, I was so confident going into Game 2 that the Mets were losing. I was ready to put money on the Mets losing in Game 2.
Also, I will say this: Dominic Stern was ready to blast you on Twitter
For what?
when you with the text you sent at 6:30 in the morning saying congrats on beating the Mets after Game 1. If they would have come back and won, and you would have been like, I believed in this team all along.
No.
I was going to put you on blast.
To
if
be
he was
fair,
gonna do it, you know I would.
to be fair, I actually did that to try and jinx it. But
Oh,
I
reverse
also
psychology.
at the same time I was admitting
Hey,
that we were
let me tell you something. Reverse psychology in baseball does not work.
And
It does,
I was,
actually.
I was also
When
right.
Bumgarner came in Game 7, 2014, I was like, oh, he's going to be great. Thinking reverse psychology. No, he actually was great again.
Yeah, no,
Um,
But to be fair, I actually did mean it. I was genuinely saying congratulations on winning the series because I knew the Mets didn't stand a chance, and we didn't. They
At
only
least one World Series.
yeah, facts. But that was it. Just the Mets got outplayed.
What?
Nothing.
The Mets got outplayed. There's no question about it. The Mets did not play better.
I do have another question.
Yes.
Shirt choice. Why you the Reds tonight?
Because it's Joey Votto. I haven't worn this red shirt. I haven't worn this shirt before. So
I like it.
that was it. I have my generator, as you know, and it was the first interesting shirt that popped
You
up.
seriously do a generator for a shirt to wear?
You know,
No,
you literally are
I
aware.
can't believe I forgot about that.
You are well aware that I do this.
Yesterday, I was when I
For
got back
baseball
from
shirts
watching
only.
football. I threw on my Shohei Ohtani shirt, and someone came up to me in my apartment complex and said, "Chiefs lanyard and a Shohei Ohtani shirt. Where does that mix?" I was like,
It doesn't.
That's actually a great question because it doesn't mix. I just love Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And like respect. I was like, respect. You're my dog.
My dog. Oh, Rip Marco. I miss Marco. My dog.
I miss Marco.
Oh, we all do. I miss
Doing
Marco.
great things.
I
for the
wish I could
Angels.
scream Marco and I hear him scream.
I was so lucky that I got to work with him a lot this summer. It was really a blast. But then he left me again. so
I wish Marco would just come back for a weekend. We go out to the bars and have a little fun.
I wish though. He's so much fun.
That'd be really cool.
Those were
get to see Marco this year.
the golden days of running the bases.
Yeah.
When us three walked out, when you said,
in my house,
That's
my
it.
own house.
"Oh no,
No,
That
no,
was
no.
bad. Why'd you say that? What made us?"
It was no
There was when I said
Okay, you had
Nolan
Nolan
I was
outside your
5, and Devers was number 2. At
Yeah,
that point,
and then when you
it
said
was
the
bold,
Mets
but it's
beating the Dodgers in the World Series in 2020,
Yeah, before the
and
season.
and we all walked out of that studio.
Yeah, that's true. That was a terrible thing. But to be fair, I haven't predicted the Mets to make it past the NLCS since then. So, but get ready next year because I do think the Mets are going to win the World Series next year, and that's also partly in part
that is predictions.
in part based on Kayla's predictions that have so far been completely right. So
And she still has a chance for this year
yeah,
too.
complete chance.
That's two about to be put on blast the next 2 years.
Why?
Because you have a tweet that says Tigers 2023 AL Central champs. I have Royals 2024 AL Central champs. We're both about to get blasted.
I mean, to be fair, that division's wide open. The Twins are going to lose Correa. They're going to be terrible.
The White Sox are in disarray.
They're
The Guardians are
are
going
to be great.
They're gonna be a clear favorite. But like,
Oh.
But there was a good favorite this year too, and they didn't even.
yeah,
make the
exactly.
playoffs.
That's kind of hard.
Well, you know why? It's because they hired a drunk as their manager.
To be fair, I don't think they would have gotten there even without
Oh no! If they still have Robert
Yeah, he'd
Ventura,
he'd
still
nothing to
think they
work
would've
with.
been well off.
They would've been
I
off.
don't
I
think they
don't
win division, but I think they could have been a wild card team.
I don't know. That team just didn't play well this year. The injuries really killed them.
What about Ozzie Guillen?
I love that guy. Ozzie Guillen. But yeah, so that's Padres.
Honestly,
There's that.
Going into that series with the Padres and the Mets, I said the pitching matchups are so much closer than people think.
Oh, I knew
And,
they were
no,
too.
and one of my friends back home is a Mets fan, and he said, "No way, that's not even close." I said,
No,
"What are you
Of course
talking
it
about?"
is. You Darvish proved that he's
Darvish,
incredible.
Musgrove, Snell,
Yeah, it's the only one most
Bassett?
ever said.
DeGrom, Scherzer. Those are three great pitching matchups.
Mhm.
No, no. He's like, "No, that's easy." He said, "Mets sweep it." I said,
They
no.
could have. If Scherzer pitched well, they would have. But because Bassett and Snell, Bassett still would have won that game. But I don't know. It wouldn't have been. It would have. It
I'm just saying
wasn't meant
that
to be.
going into that matchup, I think the pitching was downplayed with how close
I
they
agree.
were.
Yeah, they were. They were.
And then it just came down to offense and timely hits. And
Yeah.
it was the Padres who came up with those timely hits.
Bassett and winner go home is not what you really.
No, it's not. But I mean, to be fair, he had been that guy all year. He was the only guy that was consistent in the rotation
It's fair.
while
He was
the
only
Scherzer
healthy.
were out. But he played
Well,
all season. He got tired. Walker was
Didn't he have a
fairly
rough second
consistent in the beginning of the second half. He had like a 7 ERA
Wow.
through the first 2 months of the second half.
You know,
However, I
noticed some
probably
very
would have
runs
rather
also.
thrown him in Game 3 because Walker was really good in the last month of the season and Bassett wasn't. I probably would have put Walker in their Game 3. Honestly, I thought that might have been a better idea, but I don't know. To me, it just was. It was just not meant to be. That's right. So the next one is the Phillies Cardinals, which was.
I am still in shock about that. I'm not shocked that the Phillies won it. I'm surprised that they took it in two.
I'm surprised the
I knew they were
Cardinals
gonna
just
beat the
laid down and
Cardinals.
died.
And the Cardinals were frauds to get it. I knew that.
I
knew
you
it.
know
They didn't have the pitching.
I wanted the Cardinals to advance just for Pujols and Yachty. Maybe
That's what
win.
everyone kept saying. But
I wanted that,
obviously I did
but here's
too,
the
but
thing.
they were never going to do it.
But here's the thing, watching them, I was
Their
like,
lineups.
The line was really good. The pitching's not at
Neither are
all.
the Phillies
And I-
pitching, but they're starters.
no. Here's the
The
thing.
starters get it.
Wheeler,
There's
Nola.
such a pitching discrepancy there.
Yeah, there is. They have like two borderline aces.
Yeah, they do.
Cardinals have no borderline aces.
Yeah, not at all.
That's where I thought they were going to fall apart was pitching.
That's what I
And
kept
that's-
saying.
I wanted them to advance. And you guys know I don't like the Cardinals, but I wanted them to advance because Pujols and Yachty are two of my favorite players
Good
ever.
stories.
But at the same time, you just kind of felt that the pitching was going to be the difference.
Well, you and I did both predict that the Cardinals were going to win that.
That was because mainly emotional for me.
Yeah.
That was an emotional pick. It wouldn't have shocked. I said it wouldn't have shocked me if the Phillies moved on
Yeah, that-
because
that
they've got
was-
such a good offense. They've got the two starters that the Cardinals don't have.
Right.
So
Well, I was talking with someone before the series, before the postseason even started, because I did a little power rankings for teams in the playoffs. And I had the
really?
Phillies at 12. But I
Wait,
said
what did you just say?
I had the Phillies as the 12th. Out of all the playoff teams, I think it's safe to assume that going into the
That's-
playoffs, the Phillies were.
They were hot.
They were so hot.
It doesn't matter though. You
I
look
was
at
like-
how they performed over the
Call me
course of the
crazy.
season.
I would have put them. I'm not gonna say that because I
was gonna
thought
say.
I'm bound to get roasted. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
you-
gonna say,
you-
if you say anything above.
You were say top 5?
No, I was gonna no. I was gonna say put them above a certain team, but we're not gonna say that team.
You were going to say the Mets, weren't you? That would have been terrible.
No.
Okay.
So, nah.
Either way, I think
I'm not in the mood to get.
But I also, but to,
blasted. That's your thing on this.
should be fair. While I did say that I had the Phillies at last, I think I said it, and it's true. The Phillies, out of every team in the playoffs, have the best potential to be incredible. They have the
Yes, the offense
greatest
keeps
difference from how they're
so-
performing to how they can perform. Because
They're stealing the floor, yeah.
right, because if Castellanos performed well, if Real Muto performed well, Harper finally kicked it into gear, if Schwarber finally got his swing back, they would have been great, and they are. I mean, they finally figured out Castellanos hitting the ball well, Harper's hitting the ball well, Real Muto's getting on base whichever way
Hoskins
he
and
can.
Bohm.
Yeah, I mean, Bone is hitting well. I mean,
Hoskins had the bat flip of like.
oh yeah,
best bat
Bryson
flip.
Stott
I'm
has
sorry.
been incredible.
People giving Hoskins a bunch of flack for that bat flip.
He's been terrible.
It was the first home playoff game in 11 years.
That was awesome.
That was elite.
It was a
That
grand
was- that was
slam.
probably the coolest bat
That
flip
was
I've
the-
ever seen in my life, including the Joey Bats. I was gonna say the Jose Bautista bat flip. That was cooler. What Reese Hoskins did to me,
I agree.
it was awesome.
You know, every year watching the playoffs, it reminds me of the first Royals playoff game in my life, and I went to it. It was the 2014 Wild Card game.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
didn't
game.
have a voice for a week after that.
I believe it.
I wouldn't either.
I got sick last week as if I was yelling in the Mets wild card game, so I feel that. And they lost the series to boot, but I wore my voice down. So you flip over to the AL side in the wild card series, and we'll do Mariners Astros because the Mariners Astros series.
Well, it was Mariners Blue Jays.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
I want to know what happened to the Blue Jays offense.
Mariners Blue Jays.
I know.
I
It's so
predicted what
disappointing.
happened.
Not really the offense as much when you come down to the last game.
Manoa also wasn't good
It
either.
was
No, Manoa was terrible.
it was the 8-1 blown lead.
Yeah.
When you're up
Oh
by
my
a touchdown in baseball, you should not lose.
Yeah, if you lose the game.
That's just the equivalent of being up by 7 with 25 seconds left in the NFL and the opposing team has no timeouts, or being up by 3 with 13 seconds.
I feel like there's specs. Either way.
Oh, you don't know.
No, I don't really need to.
Oh.
I don't really care.
I thought you knew.
No, I don't.
He got it. But
We'll show you the
I
video
was
after
just-
this.
I was shocked by the performance of the Blue Jays. I was completely shocked.
They just played fraud
You guys
ball
don't-
all year.
I
I felt for it.
picked them in the ALCS. Seriously, because I thought that they had the complementary pieces, and then they just flat.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was.
They put to bed.
Yeah, they did. I
That's
predicted.
That's the way to describe it.
I had the Mariners going to the World Series, so I had the meeting.
Oh yeah, you
I did. I was riding it. I mean, to be fair, the way they played in the ALDS, they could have, but they
don't have
We're
enough.
not
the Astros are just a better team. I mean, to be fair, if the Mariners won Game 1 of that series, they should have.
Oh, like they really should have. They got
Because
Verlander.
Castillo would have likely come out there and shoved Game 2,
Yeah.
taken him back home. They might have swept that.
They
series.
did it, bro. They did their jobs. They got to Verlander early.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
That was they had like
They did the hardest thing.
I think when Verlander came out of the game, they had like a 90% chance to win that series.
Yeah.
Because everything got thrown off from there.
exactly.
And then you are on.
Imagine you put money on the Astros to win that series when they were losing that game
Yeah.
with Verlander on the mound.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have been, their odds would have been awful. You would have made a ton of money on
No,
that.
that 18-inning game, people were like, okay, these offenses are bad. No. That 18-inning game
They're
just showed how great the pitching was
Yeah.
and the
Defense was
The
so
defense
good.
showed up.
Julio.
The pitching was great.
Yo.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was insane. You can't say it was bad offense. It was great defense and
Yeah.
great pitching in that game.
I mean, to be fair, there were times where they could have scored runs and they didn't.
Oh yeah,
but-
there was wasted opportunities, but that's just still great defense and good pitching.
Oh, Tuvi went 0 for 8.
Oh, that makes me happy.
I mean, to me, the way that I looked at that game was saying, this to me is the perfect example. So why do we need the extra runner in?
No, that would have ruined the
I'm out.
game.
I'm out.
You know I'm a fan of it.
That's because you never played competitive baseball.
You say
That's been your reason every
It is
time.
the worst rule in baseball.
I know
The
you
amount
hate
of
it. I
times
know you hate
that
it.
I had to go in and pitch
I've
with a runner on
completely forgot
second,
that he
California
hates
rule.
this
California rules.
Oh my gosh. I
completely
hate it.
forgot
It is the
about
worst rule in baseball. Quit trying to change baseball and its beauty. Okay, you open the door, you open the floodgates.
I
This is your
did.
fault.
it.
But here's the thing: it is a terrible rule. I am so happy that we had that 18-inning game. That's just free baseball. You watch 2 baseball games in one. How can you complain?
I wasn't.
Oh, you're gonna say, put the runner on second.
But I'm
Terrible.
saying in terms of
Absolutely
baseball,
pathetic, Michael.
if that series went to Game 4, both teams would have been screwed.
It's called strategy.
But it's there's
You know what? I don't care if both teams would have been screwed.
That's just not
Michael,
baseball though. Like you didn't earn that double. You didn't
Yeah.
earn that run
you
on
never
second.
heard it.
but both teams have it, so it doesn't matter.
No.
It's-
It does
it's an
matter.
even
It
chance.
does matter.
It's just trying to make sure that it's just it makes the game more exciting.
You know,
No,
base-
because if you
baseball
can win a game without getting a hit, it's not
The
baseball.
baseball gods hate that rule. I know they do.
Think about it. If you had a ground ball to first, run on third, sack fly, run in, no hits. You didn't get that run.
That's
You didn't deserve
strategy.
No, strategy's bunny mower more. First off, but no. Here's the thing. That is a terrible rule. You are gifting runs just because they're like, oh, the game's so slow. Shut up.
That's my hot take in
Shut
baseball. That is
That I like that rule
That's a terrible rule.
because also mainly because of benefit of the Mets a lot this year. They scored.
You know
so
what?
many runs in the extra.
You know what? It wasn't even that bad for the Royals, but I still hate that rule. It is a
I hate
terrible
that
rule.
It's terrible for closers too. Like
Yeah, and here's the
just
thing.
lead off doubles.
Do you know what they said? Do you know what the MLB said? Well, it's not going to affect your ERA. I don't care if it affects my ERA. It's hurting my team.
Yeah, and then they have to pitch,
It's a terrible
and they have
rule.
to pitch out of the
You
stretch
know what?
now.
You know what? It's 2v1 here. I think it's time to go to Devin on this one. He already said-
He already said Ghost Rule sucks.
Thank you.
This is why.
Our fourth member.
This is why we love having a loyal listener like Devin. He
He's
understands.
iconic.
So, send him the link right now. Tell him to hop on.
Here's the thing.
That guy's incredible.
It's
He's our only
you're not
loyalist.
earning it. Baseball, the
Exactly.
baseball gods
You're not
will
earning
humble you
it.
so quick.
Of course.
And yet, Yellow Bee's like, yeah, let's put a Ghost Runner on. No, that's so stupid.
I don't know. I just enjoyed the entertainment that it brought because it definitely made games more
Oh.
interesting and more exciting.
Oh, I'm telling you, that home run from Jeremy Payton was more electric than earning a run off
yeah, but we
a soft grounder to first and another grounder or a sac fly. So much more. So much better.
2 hours. And I could also tell you, as someone who works for a Major League Baseball team, if I was working that game, I would have quit in the middle of the game.
You see, that's
Having to
what you
wait
don't love the
18
game.
innings.
That's
No, I love the game. But when you're sitting there for 6 hours and you're not getting paid any extra, it's really annoying. You get to a point where you're like, oh my God. I sat through 11 inning game this year with the Diamondbacks, and everyone that worked there wanted to die because it's
You know
awful.
what? Simply, and in the nice, I don't mean any flack or any rudeness when I say this. I don't care.
I'm just letting you know. If you had to work that game, I promise you.
As a
you would've
broadcaster, I would have loved it.
I get it as a broadcaster.
Even if I was
it's different.
running
That's
a
one thing.
camera, I'd still love it.
No,
Because
you would not.
we're getting the pure beauty of the game.
It's playoff baseball too.
I agree, yeah, but working it for 18 innings, you reach a limit. I promise.
Well, working it, I feel like working it's a bit different.
I'm
Exactly.
telling you,
As a fan, it's
I'm
very
telling you,
different.
I don't care how long the game goes. Play it the right way and don't gift runners.
Don't get runners.
You are trying to mess with the beauty of baseball, and that is so infuriating for me.
You might as well do it every inning, man. It's like what's
Yeah, 7, 8,
Banana
9.
ball.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Put a runner on 7. It's stupid. It's stupid.
I'm just indifferent about it. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna be able to convince me one way or the other. I'm happy to see it come back. I'm happy to see it go. It doesn't matter.
If that comes back,
It won't. They've already said it's not coming
Good.
back. It would have been talked about earlier.
it would have been in the playoffs probably too.
No, because they didn't do it in the playoffs last year either. And it came
Yeah, but
back
if they were
this
gonna move forward with it, they probably
Like,
would have
forever.
forever.
Yeah, I don't know. So that was that ALDS, or sorry, AL wild card, and then the other AL wild card was the Guardians and the Rays, which was just a very weird
That was-
series.
That's what I was doing.
I knew this would happen. It would
Yeah.
be all pitching.
4 runs total in the entire series from both teams
Wow.
combined.
And it's crazy that
Wow, it's so
the
bad.
offenses were that poor.
Well, you expected that.
The Rays are terrible offensively.
The Rays are awful offensively,
Rays-
and the Guardians have incredible pitching, so that
Honestly,
just negated them.
The Rays need to go out and spend money on hitting.
They scored 1 run in 2 games
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
That's
It's
so
pathetic.
abysmal.
I mean, even
pathetic.
Randy Rosarena didn't do anything.
It was just wonder.
I almost wore a shirt today. He was at the top of my list, and I said, "Yeah, I've worn it before."
No, he was terrible.
Yeah, it was rough. It
That
really was.
series, I love a good pitcher's duel, but that just shows the strengths of those two teams. And then when it comes to hitting, if there was to be a slugfest between the Yankees and Guardians, there is no doubt the Yankees would just outslug them.
Oh yeah, of course. I think though out of that entire wild card round, the most perfectly matched teams were those two though,
I agree.
because they're the pretty much the
Because
same
they're
team.
both elite pitching teams, but at the
Bad
same
hitting.
time,
Yeah.
very, very, very poor offense.
Very poor.
I mean, it went 16 innings.
Great bullpens too. Oh my god.
Yeah, great bullpens.
I mean, that's the only reason why Cleveland's forced us to 5 games.
Mano Clase had to go like
He's
Superman.
Remember, I've been saying his name for years, and you guys haven't been.
I had
Yes,
fantasy
he is.
this year.
Emmanuel Clase is a top 10 player in baseball. I'm sorry. Yes, he is. He is
Now everybody knows what I put up with.
the best closer in baseball.
Ooh.
Actually, no, Edwin Diaz is better.
So
But-
Oh, no, hold on. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to go back on the show tonight, clip it, and say Michael
But
Garaffa,
you can go.
who said Edwin Diaz is the best closer for the past
But you can
7
go
months.
back and literally see me say no. He's,
Oh, sorry, people aren't going to go look at the show after that.
of course not. No, but I can then clip it and
Oh,
prove you.
also, can we, Devin, I'm going through all your comments, and boy, do I love this one. Michael, I think you need to showcase on the screen. Choking the division was the death knell
They didn't.
for the Mets,
They didn't.
and
choke
it
the
was
division.
beautiful.
They didn't choke.
They-
Well, they did in the end.
They didn't choke it.
They did in the end.
They just had.
They
We're
did in the-
getting swept by the
choked
Braves
the
choking
series.
it.
They choked the series, but they didn't choke the division.
You
Everyone knows.
choked by the division by getting swept in Atlanta for the series.
Yes, because if we really won one more.
Also, Devin, you saying the Rays overthink matchups and analytics is so
it
true.
really is.
Kevin Cash
So true.
is king
You
of
know, it
analytics.
has worked before, but I am so tired of teams going way too deep in analytics. Honestly, Play your game.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's so analytics based, but come on, you can't live and die by that sword.
No, you're right. And the Rays, they just
They've been doing it for years. Ever since Joe Madden, really.
yeah, and it hasn't done them any good. I mean, to be fair, it's taken teams
They've
that
gotten
shouldn't
to the
be
World
great
Series.
and gotten
They've
them to the
taken the
playoffs.
They've gotten them far, but it gets to a point. Now you're seeing that they're starting to slip a little bit.
This could be the end of the Rays in the playoffs.
You gotta change.
That's what I say every year, though.
No, but they've
No,
got
this is
progressively
the
worse.
first year that I fully believe it.
Yeah, this is
I
the first
gotta
time I've
see
looked
that
at it and
as-
said that's not a good team.
Yeah, they're
They're not.
too dedicated to the analytics. They're not going
Even
out and
Warren,
getting the hitters
too.
they need.
Yeah.
Even like Flair since Randy and Wander.
Yeah, I mean the only exciting players on that team are Randy, Wander, Tyler Glasnow, and Shane McClanahan. That's it.
But
That's
yeah,
four
McClanahan's
players.
nice.
That's 4 players.
Also-
out of an entire team.
Also,
G-Man,
I also
I
have
like
the
G-Man.
feel,
yeah, exactly.
you guys know my feelings about the shift when that comes to the analytics. You need to teach your hitters to be able to hit oppo.
No, the shift is just pointless.
Because
The
here's
ship
the
is
thing.
gone.
And thank you.
The best thing that I was ever taught at a young age when I played baseball is tee drills on the outside corner.
Yeah.
Because it teaches you to hit oppo every time. Hitting oppo makes you so much more valuable. And yet, so many hitters, look at Mitch Moreland. His career was ruined because of the shift.
Chris
Chris
Davis.
Chris Davis, Carlos Santana, even though he's still playing, his numbers have just shifted so much.
Adam
because of the
LaRoche.
Victor Martinez got
shift. MJ Melendez,
hurt,
Vinny
bro.
P. Like, hey,
Prince Fielder got hurt a little bit toward the end of
Yeah.
his career.
and
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm glad they're putting some restrictions on the shift. It's just that the best thing that every hitter should know is to hit oppo.
So the best hitters always know how to hit anywhere.
And I think for the team that I work for this summer, every batting practice, the coach would always say, "We're going to attack the outside to start because we need to be able to hit oppo."
Mhm.
And that's why they're so successful. Is that when they needed to, they could go oppo and get a hit.
It's a good art. And now that we're getting rid of the shift, we're going to see more hits, and I'm for that.
I'm also for it.
I'm for it,
Yeah.
100%.
So
I think the shift has gotten just way too crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you want to shift a little bit, go right ahead. That's fine. Also, 4 outfielders. I'm so glad that's gone.
Yeah.
That's such a stupid idea.
Give me some
More
more
five
base hits to right field.
yeah, So fall fields. It's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be great. So wild card series is done, and we move on to the DS. And we might as well just go in the order of how we were. And that brings us to the Padres and the Dodgers.
Honestly, for both the Dodgers and the Braves, I'm not trying to bring up excuses. I think the MLB has an issue.
No.
The 5 days rest is an issue.
What the heck
I
about
will
the
say-
Astros?
Well, no, I'm just saying that their offense wasn't that great.
Doesn't
It
matter.
took
They
18
still
innings
won.
to score
They
1
still
run.
swept the
I'm just
series.
saying teams look rusty. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying they might need to get rid of less days off somehow.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the reason why they lost it all. I'm just saying that did play a factor. But all those teams, they looked rusty.
But to be fair, going forward, teams will also probably be more prepared, because they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know, I guarantee you those teams weren't out there training every single day. I'm sure they weren't. They were probably staying at home saying, we'll come in and train the day before or 2 days before.
I hate to go off topic again, but we have got to get Devin on this show one week. These hitters need to go with the pitch and stop going for homers. That is beautiful.
Devin,
I could not have said it better myself.
Devin's probably like 45, too. He's our best man. Just based on the way he's talking. I could
and
be
honestly,
He's
I
just
love-
soon as
I love the old school
saying
version.
these old
I
school
love it.
takes.
I love it. We need to get him on the show
I like
just 1 week. I don't care if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
From work,
It is-
putting us on, like,
it is-
it's a
Awesome. Completely awesome because he is saying it correctly. The way that you can become such a dangerous hitter, you see a pitch on the outside, you keep your weight on it, and take it oppo. Oh,
Yeah.
it's honestly a lost art.
Jeff McNeil. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, but
All the
getting
best
back to that,
hitters.
the bullpen for the Padres was absolutely elite.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Josh
Josh
Hader's Josh
39
Hader again.
Innings.
Hader's been so good since
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
So good. You gotta give credit to where that's due. The Phillies' offense was insane in their series. I will say this, and you guys can blast me however much you want. I think the Dodgers should move on from Dave Roberts.
That's
Yes,
what everyone's been
no,
saying.
there's no blast.
He's had the best team in baseball the past
Oh,
6
he
years.
just said he is 45.
Oh,
He
shit,
said
I
he's
just
a-
went off the StreamYard by accident.
Said
I'm
he's
so
a
sorry,
month
folks.
from 46.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good guess.
A month from 46.
I'm
See,
getting back on this.
I got you, Devin. Devin's our most loyal viewer, and he is. I know him. I feel like I know the guy.
Honestly, I think it is time
No,
to
he's
move
not.
on from Dave Roberts.
Yeah, Dave Roberts is done.
Yeah, no.
But they extended him. Dang.
There's spring. But here's the thing. If
The
I'm
Dodgers
Friedman,
need
I'd be like, you continuously
But
make
Fernando
the
back?
worst moves. It's like he panics.
This is what
on
Trey
so-
Turner does.
And so he's not going to go back to the Dodgers. Why would he go back to the Dodgers when they won 111 games and lost in the playoffs?
I mean, you can say that about every player.
I don't think he even ever wanted to be on the Dodgers in the first place.
Who?
Trey Turner.
Hey, Keely, back in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I will say this. The fact that he brought in Tommy Kahnle in that situation when you could have gone back to
The
Gratterall.
fact that he took
and
Tyler
then
Anderson
Phillips-
out.
You know, I'm not even as upset with that. Yes, you could have gone to
Anderson was stealing though.
I'm not as upset with that. I'm upset by that you go to Tommy Kahnle.
Yeah.
That's the issue of it all.
Because they never had a true
And
bullpen.
also,
That
the
man.
offense just went dead.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I mean, I always said that the lineup was not as good as it was last year.
No, they
They have
played.
three. They have
Let me
three
explain.
sub 200 hitters in
Let
the
me
lineup.
explain why. I think it's just because they have guys that were just bad this year.
Yeah,
Muncy.
Bellinger, Muncy, and
Turner wasn't that great
and
either.
who else passed under 200 on that team?
Lux got hot later in the season. He was good.
Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor, yes.
$16 million.
Chris Taylor, the
That was
all-star.
Terrible.
It was awful.
Awful.
The entire team just they were carried by their pitching and their offense just.
And they're top three
scraped
hitters.
by. Any team can do that. When you
That's
have
what
a
I'm
pitching
saying.
that's
They weren't like some special team like they were last year.
No,
And
but
for
when it
you-
comes time for the playoffs,
Yeah, and here's the thing. Were they injured? Yes, but
doesn't matter.
it
I mean,
doesn't
you just
matter.
Walker
you have,
Buehler.
you have the best roster on paper. You should have been able.
Walker Buehler would have chosen the playoffs anyway.
All right.
Okay, come on.
But I mean, seriously though,
That's just
the Dodgers right now are at a point where if they don't move on from Dave Roberts, they may not
You know,
get back.
Dominic
to the
Stern
World Series.
said something last night when I was talking to him about this because we talk about this stuff all the time. He said, insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Dave Roberts is not the answer.
No.
You know what? I was talking about, my dad's a Dodger fan. You guys know this, being from LA. But he said, but he is so good in the regular season. But is he, though? Look at the talent that he has.
It's not.
You see the true manager that he is once you have the tough decisions in October and going to Tommy Kahnle when your season is on the line. No, you have Bruce Gratterall who can throw 103.
103 slider.
Yeah. You have Evan
It's
Phillips.
such a bad manager.
Like,
Super
you have
interesting.
such depth in that bullpen that you could have gone to. But no, I like you, Tommy Kahnle, and I love for you to
Major
blow
League
this.
Baseball, like they should have a vote to overrule the Dodgers ownership to kick Dave Roberts out of baseball because the Dodgers deserve so much better than him. He's dragging them down.
Even when they were winning, the Dodgers fans didn't really like him.
No.
They saw the fraud in him.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it for years.
Yeah.
He is the reason why the Dodgers haven't won
You know,
more championships.
I defended him a little at the beginning, but as the past like 3 years have gone on, he's got to go.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
And you know what? Cool. You're having success in the regular season. You win 111 games, franchise record. Cool. You're not winning when it really
Yeah,
counts.
it doesn't matter. It's a point.
Everything that you do in the regular season
And
is great when you can get that playoff spot. But once you get there, it don't matter.
And there's no question the Dodgers are the biggest embarrassment of the playoffs for sure.
Oh, this season.
It doesn't
was a
help that
huge failure.
their one win was in the bubble.
And friend of
Right.
the program, Blake Harris, said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Biggest failure.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
In the history of baseball.
tough, man.
I mean-
they got a dynasty.
Yeah, and I mean, I said it. I wrote to one of my friends because I was talking to my buddy, also friend of the program, Jared Carver, about how we just go back and forth during the playoff games. And I said to him when they started warming Brewstar up in the fifth, and the Dodgers are 3-0. I said, and I can bring it back up. I wrote to him and said, if the Dodgers take Tyler Anderson out after 5, they are losing this game. And he said, that's a bold prediction to make, my man. They're up 3-0, and they're the Dodgers. I said, they're losing if they take him out. And they
No.
lost.
No, here's the thing. I don't think it's that bad of a decision to pull him.
Okay.
I disagree with the decision 100%, but I don't think it is that bad. If you brought in the right guy like Gratterall, that is so much better.
I don't know.
I still
though.
think they win that game. Again, as a manager, I would have let him go back out.
Right.
And if he struggled, you have Gratterall warming up. But I don't think that move is as bad. I think that the move is an okay move. Personally, I wouldn't have done it. But you're there. If you're going to do it, you have to make the right move. And you went to Tommy Kahnle, a terrible move.
Well, the thing that really made me know that it was the wrong move was that we hear it all the time in baseball. That when a pitcher is dominating a pitching lineup,
Yeah.
and they take him out, it makes the lineup say, all right, we've got this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they took him out and made them think that they had this, no matter who they brought in, with 4 innings to play and 3
It
runs.
happens
to
all the
score.
time.
I mean,
all
that
the
is,
time.
you are hitting them, saying, all right, you want to come back? Go right ahead.
You've probably seen that so many times when DeGrom pitched like
Oh,
in
yeah.
2018 and 19.
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Especially because even if you want 8, it doesn't matter.
Exactly that.
That's what he's
Because
scoring.
Ed Luz Diaz was a thing back then.
And lose.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
frustrating because what's holding the Dodgers back isn't their roster.
I mean, the bottom half of their lineup's just not good.
yeah. But even at that, they could have been better.
No,
If Dave
for sure.
Roberts wasn't Dave Roberts.
And they also didn't have like a. I always say teams that don't have like a designated closer going into the playoffs.
No, yeah, you're screwed.
Well,
You're done.
that got screwed up when Trinan got hurt. If Trinan never
Well,
got hurt,
Kimbrel also was just a failure.
It doesn't matter. They still had Kimbrel technically as their closer at that point.
Well, then they got left off the postseason roster.
Right. Yeah.
do you blame him for doing that?
No, I
Yes.
don't.
No,
I blame them for not for them getting him.
That's also true. Yes,
But
but
I blame
I
him.
mean, I blame him, but still, he could be a different guy in the playoffs. You never know. You're not
I
going to
do
give him a
not.
shot.
He was awful this year.
Yeah.
Like he should go own a log cabin in Alaska. Bad. Like
You know, you're probably.
he was like, oh my god.
But that series, I mean, to me, the way I'm looking at it, and you guys probably disagree a little bit, but in terms of embarrassment and how they perform and their exits, Dodgers are the most embarrassing, then the Braves and the Mets. They're all three really embarrassing, but to me,
I actually agree with that 100%.
okay, cool.
I'm sorry. This is insane take. And I know we weren't alive in this, but that's a good take. Devin saying they're the 90s Braves, except the Braves won a real series, not a 60
Yeah,
championship.
that's exactly what it
That's
is.
exactly what it
Literally,
is.
that's 100. Only winning one championship with a dynasty team.
And what you
Except
said,
Bobby Cox is an incredible man.
but
They
when,
just
when
play
you
better
said when
team.
you said Dodgers, Braves, Mets, I feel like the Mets. If the Braves did not get beat like they did,
And it was the Phillies. It was.
I guess-
It's also different.
no,
than
no,
the Phillies.
even if the series went 5, just to get beat like they did, if that series would have went 5, I still would put the Mets above. But how they lost, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, if they won 5, it would have been different. But I mean, they just got handled by the Phillies. They won game 1, they lost 3 in a row.
100%.
All he needed to do was win. I mean, Max Fried just
Max Fried was
he was awful. He
Dog.
pulled a Max Scherzer, and I mean, it was awful. So yeah, I mean. That made me feel a little bit better. It's like, all right, well, at least people aren't thinking about us that much anymore, because the Mets were going to be the headline of the playoffs for the rest of the offseason, and then the Dodgers and Braves got knocked out too. It's like, all right, great.
Also,
That makes
I
me
saw
feel
people tweeting out trade Acuna after the Braves.
Terrible.
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 Here's the thing. Here's
People
the
are
thing
stupid on
about
Twitter.
ACL injuries.
So recency bias is insane.
Well,
on
just think,
Twitter.
It's just Twitter's just a cesspool.
With where they were at, the reason the Braves were 500 when Acuna went down was because of him.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing. I always say this about ACL injuries, especially because my twin brother tore his ACL. Those take 2 years. 1 year for the physical part, another year for the mental aspect.
He was
'Cause you're
still
always-
dealing with it this year
Yeah,
too.
because you're always thinking, if I step wrong, this thing's done again.
Yeah, he was really. I watched him a lot this year. Obviously, he was
The
really,
mental,
really
the
cautious.
mental aspect is really what gets you when you get injured.
He'll be fine next year.
And yeah,
Oh, yeah, he'll be fine because he'll have the experience of playing on that knee again.
I mean, honestly, he's the reason why they lost Game 4. Among many things, but he was the biggest reason with his 3 terrible plays in the outfield. I mean, if he backed up Michael Harris there, well, I guess they probably still would have lost, and it only became a double for Chase Realmuto.
That was electric.
Yeah, you knew the series was over right then when they did that.
Yeah.
You knew it was
Well,
over.
no, before then too, it was over.
I think that made it 4-2 though, or 4-1.
No, I'm pretty sure it was already like.
Well, that was the fourth run for the Phillies. I remember.
That Inside Parker made it 4-1.
Yeah, it made it 4-1, and then Olsen hit the home run.
That one he scored. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
it's done.
Because if it was only 3-1 and then Olsen hit that home run, entirely different dynamic. But a 4-1 and then he hits the homer, it changes the game completely.
I feel it was game 1 or 2 when they hit 4 home runs on 4 straight pitches.
Oh,
That was insane. I think that was game 2.
It wasn't. I don't think it was on 4. It wasn't 4 in 4 pitches.
I think it was.
I know because it was 3. They hit 3.
Okay,
I
okay.
think. But still, it was unbelievable. I was like, oh.
And they're all first pitches too.
Yeah, they kept. No, it was they got 4 extra base hits on 4 straight pitches. That's
Oh no, their 4 straight hits were all home runs. I think.
no, they weren't home runs because we'd be talking about it a lot more if it was back to back to back.
No,
to
but
back
like
in the
they
playoffs.
didn't go back to back, but they're the 4 hits consecutive, like the 4 hits, like
Oh, they led to 4 runs. Yes. No, there were 4 straight pitches thrown in the game that all were extra base hits.
Okay.
It was 4 straight pitches in the game, like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
and they were all extra base hits. It was incredible, but they were just jumping on the Braves pitching, and that was, I mean, the Phillies came into that series the same way the Padres went into the wild card and the NLDS. They were hungry, and that's what we've seen. The teams that are the underdogs, they're coming in playing a lot harder because they have everything to lose.
Also, I think
or nothing to lose.
the underdog story comes in more that two of these teams had 2 of the longest droughts.
Yeah.
And I know you can say the Padres aren't really.
It's
It was their first time playing in front of fans since 2006.
And with the Phillies, like we thought they were done in like June.
Yeah, I did too. I'm shocked they even made
Hey,
the playoffs.
I always stuck by them. I always said, "No, this team can still make the playoffs."
They almost choked it away in September too. They went like 2-17, but they managed to hold on.
They just weathered the storm without Harper.
Yeah.
And the pitching got good.
Yeah.
I was always obsessed with their pitching though.
They also made a great move,
Their bullpen.
signing their interim manager Rob Thompson.
Yes.
Rob Thompson.
That was
Because they trust him, and that's really
That was
good.
a terrific move.
God, imagine
You
if he was
guys
a
wanna
bad
know a fun
manager.
fact about him?
Well, yes.
He went to KU.
Oh wow,
How did I say?
that's exciting.
Anyway, plug in my state right
Yeah,
there.
of course. But yeah, they really wanted it, and the teams that have nothing to lose in the Dodgers and Padres, in the Padres and Phillies, as opposed to the teams that
I
feel
don't
like
know
they
if it's
have
really
it to
nothing
them.
to lose. There was a lot to lose with the Dodgers with the expectations.
Yes, your
I don't
series
think
for
it's-
some reason
I don't-
listening to you on your watch.
Oh gosh,
I don't
thank
know
you. My watch does that sometimes.
Mine does too. It did it in the car while I was on the phone before. I was like, what? Why?
But I think there's a lot to lose. I don't think it's nothing to lose for them. But I get your sentiment by saying it means more to the Padres. It means more to the Phillies.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so because of that, the motivation, while maybe high, it's not nearly where it is for the other teams, which is why we saw the Mariners come out there and play as hard as they did. Because really, the Mariners had no business beating the Blue Jays and putting up as much of a fight with the Mariners as they did, which we'll get into now. And Jared I keep bringing him up because we just keep talking about it, and he makes great points.
I'm sorry to bring up Devin again, but he also brought up a terrific point. It's Melvin versus Tingler.
Ooh, God, imagine that. That would have been. Can you imagine?
Chase.
Oh, he was such a bad manager.
Oh, he was terrible.
Dear God.
He got mad at Fernando for pinning that home run.
He was the worst. He was somehow worse than Dave Roberts. But the Mariners,
Way worse.
the Mariners,
way worse.
Yeah,
That's not even
the Mariners and Astros. No, the Mariners and Astros series was the closest sweep of a series I think I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
sure. The games were all the time at like less than 3 runs.
Yeah,
right?
it felt like it was a 5-game series that they swept it. I mean, it
Good
was.
for the Mariners though.
Yeah,
that shows
but-
promise.
But the problem is, 20 years from now, when we look back on this, and let's say the Mariners have made the playoffs again, which we don't think they will. No one thought that.
They're going to win the
116
division next year.
They need to go
No,
around
the
the
Astros
division.
in that division.
If they lose Verlander, maybe Astros.
But
But
then you're going to the Tigers.
you might be right about that. But I think you
You
would
know,
have
I'll
last
agree with
year.
you on one thing. Verlander, back to the Tigers. If Zach Greinke comes back to the Royals, if he doesn't retire,
Okay, but that's just not the same thing.
It doesn't matter.
for me, it is.
In terms of like
But you got him
accolades.
this year.
The last
Dominance.
Royals to win a Cy Young, Zach Greinke. Also, you were talking about how he went to the Mariners 18-inning game and did not get recognized at all.
Really? I didn't even know that.
He was wearing a Bass Pro Shops sweatshirt and hat. Nobody
I
recognized
don't think
him.
anyone would, to be fair. And if they did, they probably
I mean,
wouldn't
he's
say.
also not the most social
Honestly,
guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother to say.
I
it
would.
level.
I probably would recognize him because I'm a Royals fan.
I would have taken a picture, but like, that's Zach Greinke.
Honestly, I would have went up to him,
He's
said
not
hi,
sitting next to
because
him.
I want to talk to that man in real life. He is so interesting.
And then he would have looked
I
at
don't-
you and said, "I don't want to."
I don't mean this in the wrong way, but I don't think he want to talk to you. I don't think he wants to talk to anybody.
But can I go on 2 quick tangents about that man? Just to show
If
who he is.
Dom shows up, you're doing your show after this?
Yes.
Okay.
We're it's so funny because there was a couple conversations in the clubhouse between he and Nicky Lopez. Nicky Lopez was like, "Yeah, I can't imagine owning a cat. Cats are the worst." And Zach Greinke says, "Yeah, there are the worst." He's like, "Yeah, any dogs?" He's like, "No, but I have a cat."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
No, and then this one. So Nicky Lopez works Creighton, and he asked Greg, he's like, "You ever thought about going to Creighton?" He's like, "I was a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. Why would I ever go to Creighton? Who went to Creighton?" Just right in front of Nicky Lopez's face. A fan also asked him for an autograph on a ball. Greinke picked up the ball and chucked it over the opposite wall in left field.
It's just he's a hilarious human being. We
He's one of those
sadly
awkward funny guys.
have to end the show here. But ALDS Game 5 predictions. Do we think?
Guardians.
Yankees.
Sadly.
Yankees.
I'm gonna be rooting
It's not.
so heavily for the Guardians.
You know
It's not,
what?
it's not a baseball thing for the Yankees Astros.
Yankees.
No, it's not.
You know what? I
Which is
want.
why, yeah,
No, I
but it
actually
would be
want.
fun.
I want
Guardians.
Astros
It's gonna be,
Yankees.
it's gonna be
I
Guardians.
want Astros Yankees so bad
I do
So-
too.
because I want.
Either way,
Baseball
it'll be
fan.
fun.
finally beat-
Either way, it will be fun. You're right. Actually, no, it won't. If it's Guardians Astros, it won't be fun.
It will not be fun. It won't. It just
You're right,
won't.
'cause it'll be 4-0. Either way,
Actually, I think it'll be fun either way.
I'd like to
put on the record here that
Really?
I think
When are the Yankees gonna win a game?
they'll probably scrap on. I'd like to put on the record here. I think the Padres are going to go to the World Series.
Who?
No one's listening except for the man who actually matters that he's listening. I think Padres are going to the World Series. I think they may actually.
I would
win
make
the
some
World
money
Series.
then. That would be
I
spectacular.
believe Dominic Stern that the San Diego Padres, and this is not a jinx, that they're going to win the World Series this year. I just putting it out there.
One of the most delusional people says that.
well, I could be correct. We have to end the show because you guys have your show coming up. But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week again for Running the Bases. Look forward to seeing you all then. Have a good one.